of the NFT and the way it works, it pays out, it's, utility NFT, it pays out rewards. It'd be good to understand what's the intention, because I know that everything you do is very strategic, and often
sure.
it's there's a domino effect within the ecosystem that it's going to. I'm assuming it's going to kick off some sort of process.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's an amazing question, Danny. And again, it's people that ask the right questions that I really get excited over. And yes, when peg, I get it. Like everybody, always goes back to that. Obviously, we want to recover peg, um, but that is also the beauty of our protocol is that we will recover peg when the ecosystem is ready for that to happen. And with the bear market and people not really understanding how to optimize their yield in EMP, we do see a lot of sell pressure. And when that sell pressure is on EMP, that drives the peg down. And so, even now, we still have, over $5 million of liquidity in EMP ETH LP. And a lot of that is protocol owned liquidity. So that really protects us from a run on the bank or anything that really is negatively associated with being below peg. So that's kind of the short answer on that. And so what we are doing with this NFT, as far as the greater vision, which is what I'm even more excited about, is this gives people an opportunity to earn in our ecosystem with basically eliminating sell pressure on EMP. So what that means is that if you were to just make your own EMP ETH LP on your own instead of going into the power up NFT, you take your Ethereum, you make your own EMP LP. Then if you didn't know how to utilize that properly in the ecosystem, it could actually lead to more selling pressure, um, whether it be through nodes or again selling your positions to exit. But to that point, because of this NFT, you have an option now of basically encapsulating your LP position in the NFT. Again, I know it's a little complicated, but essentially your NFT represents an LP position that even if you bought or sold that NFT, it doesn't reflect in the peg. So in other words, again, if there is a lot of selling of the NFTs, it's not like you're actually selling EMP. So not only is this bringing, again, hopefully, right now we're at about $280,000 of sales. We're hoping again for a lot of new capital coming into the ecosystem, but it also alleviates some potential selling pressure on EMP itself because now your ownership is encapsulated in this NFT. So, and you still get the price appreciation of EMP and ETH. So that's another thing. Like everybody says when peg, well, now, and again, this isn't financial advice. We never give financial advice. We never, ask people to invest. This is crypto. Everybody's responsible for their own decisions. But if you look at it based on risk and reward, we're at about 50% below peg right now, which means if you're making your EMP ETH LP at these levels, you can get a 100% gain on EMP itself. So literally, again, when we get back to peg, that means the EMP value will have doubled. And because of our pegging ratio, there is very, very little impermanent loss because as ETH goes up or EMP goes up, it also balances in the LP pool. So really, again, not financial advice, but those that are accumulating right now are setting themselves up, for exponential gains when ETH and the overall market recovers, as well as our peg. And we have a strong treasury. I mean, we could go to peg tomorrow, but we saw this in the Sentinel launch. If you look at our chart, we did recover peg. We got all the way back to about 0.94 peg, and it happened really fast. And I think a lot of people were able to, swing trade or treat it as a pump and dump. And so, yeah, we did end up losing peg again. And now, again, we are where we are. But the idea is that through these NFTs, through our investments into other protocols such as MDB or other yield producing assets. Splinterlands is another partnership that we again are producing yield from. The yield from our detonator as a service contracts as well. We will get to a point where the Treasury is producing more yield and buying pressure on EMP than there is selling pressure. And once that happens, then now we're able to recover PEG in a much more sustainable manner. We're able to maintain PEG, and that's when we see eShare absolutely fly and the ecosystem function, as it's built to function at a very, very high level. So does that help, Danny? I hope I didn't get too far in the weeds, but
No, 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 that's brilliant. It's brilliant. It explains it perfectly. I think I'm just looking because I can see there's a few questions
for sure.
that have come into the server. Um,
Yeah, I'd love to take questions as we go. Like I said, I have about 20 more minutes here, and along with the power of NFT, again, we're launching another NFT, and I don't want to again confuse people, but just like the Sentinel Squadron NFT uses the reactor to generate yield, we are also doing a version of that for the detonator now as well. We teased that while we were doing our rounds, Danny, on our own. Um, but yeah, we are implementing that. That will go live on December 10th. Well, the public mint is December 13th. We're doing a much smaller mint. There's only 333 of those available, and that will essentially do exactly what the Sentinel Squadron NFT does, but it will reward you in EMP ETH LP rather than eShare and MDB. But again, that will be another benefit to the whole ecosystem, and we're excited for that as well. And I will, this is some alpha, Danny. I want to give away at least one or two whitelist spots to the detonator defender sale. So I'll follow up with you on that. We can give away two early access opportunities with that as well.
yeah, fantastic, fantastic. Going back to your, like, it was really interesting to hear you describe like the cycle of EMP and PEG and how it went up before. And I know there's and I'm sure it's something that's being considered, and maybe you can't say, but I know a lot of the questions that people ask around EMP specifically as a token is because when I suppose when there's this like universal focus on getting back to PEG, and then something is 50% of PEG, uh, there's it looks wide open, right, for people to speculate on a
For
push for
sure.
PEG, and there's no penalty just for buying and then selling it, other than for the other people that are just trying to hold and want to remain at PEG. And that's a question that I've seen asked a couple of times. And are you guys considering any sort of like changes or differences to kind of limit the because you want people to buy EMP at 50% of PEG, uh, to take long term benefit of it returning to PEG, right, rather than the
Totally.
short term benefit. Just kind of puts everybody that was invested long term kind of back to where they started.
Yep, no doubt. So, and this again is, I think, one of the fundamental things that people have a misconception of in EMP. So you're not basically you're yes you're buying EMP now, hoping that we get back to PEG and you experience a 100% gain basically, or a double when we do get back to PEG. But EMP is not a token that you just buy and hold. So EMP is a utility token, and I think once people, finally internalize that on the surface, again, it sounds very counterintuitive to what we're used to in DeFi. But the fact of the matter is, you earn much more in terms of yield by utilizing your EMP in the right way. So to answer your that fundamental question is, why am I buying EMP and, how do I not become exit liquidity for everybody else? And the answer is that by going into EMP now, you then create your EMP ETH LP and put it on the farm. So now you're generating yield in eShare, and eShare is the key because eShare is the profit taking vehicle of our ecosystem. And as we get back to PEG, that gives the eShare inherently more value because the only way to earn EMP through our inflation, again, everybody thinks that inflation is a bad word, and it is if it's not controlled. But as long as we're below PEG, EMP is non-inflationary. Even with our nodes, like everybody thinks our nodes are the problem, so to speak. Well, that's EMP that's already in circulation. So we're not inflating the token at all at the moment. Again, it's based on PEG. So when we do get back to PEG and the boardroom starts printing, the only way to get new EMP is by owning eShare. And so this gives eShare an amazing amount of value um, because those APRs, can be in the thousands of percent because you're essentially minting yourself more EMP. And so that is really the key. And unfortunately, a lot of people have not been able to experience that. But when we do, that is when the FOMO really starts kicking in. And so when we're closer to PEG, not only are you getting the price appreciation, but now you're earning eShare because you're in the farm. Again, we always say to start in the farm. And that eShare can end up being exponentially more valuable because now when we're at the pay, we see eShare at three, four, $500 easily, and that is why again the APR is more when eShare is at a very healthy price. So and that's bullish for MDB because the higher the eShare price, the more we're able to buy back of the MDB off the market through our Sentinel NFTs. So, and I apologize for the background noise.
No worries, you're building yourself another spare room so you can get some peace.
I am, brother. We're remodeling the house. Again, on top of everything else, a brand new baby, 2 NFTs, running a crypto project, and doing construction. So yeah, I got my hands full. So yeah, go ahead. But yeah, does
Yeah.
that make sense, Danny?
Yeah,
Everything I said?
absolutely. The question I was going to ask is your not only did you kind of set a new watermark in terms of a raise on BSC, you also came out with like a super creative way of running the mint. In terms of your new NFTs, what does the mint process look like? How many NFTs are being minted, and is there a similar structure as before, or is it going to be different?
Yeah, so that's an amazing question, and we we pride ourselves. I know you and I had many of late night conversations about the mint process, and I think between both of us, we came up with an amazing solution and had some incredible success with the windows that we did. However, because of the nature of where we are right now, we didn't want to do a real tight window on either of these NFTs. Number one, because of the market conditions, and number two, because of the rollout. So we targeted a lot more new influencers and new advertising avenues. Um, we developed an entire Reddit subreddit. We did a lot more on Instagram. We reached out to a lot more mining centric YouTubers um, and people that have never even heard of EMP. And so with the Power Up NFT, we did have to extend the mint just because half of the content that we paid for wasn't even out yet. So, and with the Power Up NFT, again, they are pure utility. So, we're not, by extending the mint or having a hard cap on the amount of NFTs that we produce, it's really not benefiting or hurting the overall economics. So the Power Up NFT is an open-ended mint. Again, we produce about 280 of them so far. Once the deadline is over, again, it'll be tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. I believe that's 1 UTC. So just over 24 hours. left in the mint, then that will be it. And that, again, we have the option of opening the mint again, but it will be not. It will be based on demand. So if we're still, not in a bull market or maintaining, this will be your only opportunity to get these NFTs. And at the bare minimum, it would be 4 or 6 months away, and they'll most likely be more expensive as well. So and then with the Detonator Defender NFTs, that is a lot more of a short window. So these NFTs are it's a collection of 11 different designs. All of the designs I've also had a hand in making my own. I know a lot of people had feedback on our collection, Danny. In my community, they love the artwork, but they wanted me to do some of the artwork. So I didn't have time on the Sentinel Squadron, but I did make time for the Detonator Defender. So um, I had a hand in some of the artwork in those. And so we are doing a pre-sale structure in this NFT where again on the 10th we open it up to pre-sale to where it's the only way to guarantee that you get all 11 in the set. So again, they're $300 each. And in the pre-sale, it's $3,333. Again, just a $3 premium because we're also doing a giveaway with that. But again, it's the only way to get all 11 of them guaranteed, because when we do the public mint, all the artwork will be distributed at random. So they're not different traits, but they're all random artwork between the 11. So yeah, and to answer your question, we have a 48-hour window on the main mint. However, because of this pre-sale structure and a lot less that we're putting into circulation, we may be in a situation where the pre-sale will mint out the whole series by itself. So again, we did things a little differently for this round, and trying to get everything out in time for the new year for sure.
Brilliant. Yeah, sounds super interesting. And LA's just shared the link actually in AMA questions. So if anyone wants to pick it up and go and have a look. Since we did speak as well, actually, one thing I did want to mention is that we haven't talked about eShare single staking. I know that went live. Is that still live?
Yes, brother. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, this was another massive upgrade to our economics. So we were able to reroute some of our eShare emissions to a new single staking eShare pool. So um, again, after our launch together, we wanted to incentivize a lot of our new users through the Sentinels to do something with their eShare. And so, again, eShare always has that inherent value, especially when we get back to PEG and the boardroom is printing, like I said earlier. But, until we're printing in the boardroom, then your eShare really isn't yielding anything. And so, that being said, we created a brand new pool, and APRs have been very lucrative in that. So, the only caveat is that you do have to lock up your eShare for a minimum of 21 days, um, but you're able to yield even more eShare by staking your eShare. So we locked up a ton of supply doing that, and so you know as we move forward, and that pool, all of our pools are not permanent. We always reserve the right to suspend them, but get in while you can, because again, it's just free yield at this point. And we did roll something similar out earlier this year. So these pools come and go depending on market condition. But if you're earning eShare, that's the best place to put it. And again, MDB, you guys rolled out a ton of new single staking options, as well as on Auto Compounder, right? On Xenia.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got 2 auto compounders now, which just means that we, rather than big burns, we're burning. Yeah, I think it's similar to your auto compounders that are on Magic. I think 2% service fee.
Yep.
apply. So we yeah, so like in the last, it means that our burn is just much more regular now. It's I think we had 37 burn transactions in the last 24 hours.
I
So
love it.
yes,
Yeah.
much more systematic actually. It's also brought a hell of a lot more liquidity into the protocol, which, like I say, is freeing up more protocol liquidity to earn yield, to buy back more supplies. So it's creating this very sort of cyclical effect. And we're looking at maybe launching another staking pool to try and kind of replicate maybe what people are missing out on with the end of Infinity, because Infinity single staking pays much more than the current MDB one. So yeah, it's really
Totally.
interesting. I think we'd be we're always looking to do things as well, and I think maybe we could do something. Maybe we can work something out in the future. Maybe we do an MDB EMP auto compound or something like that, where we can both sort of drive emissions to the same pair, and maybe both burn the token that we're really keen to see the supply come down.
I love it, Danny. I love where your head's at, brother. Always interested in that. Even maybe some sort of EMP, MDB detonator. Who knows, bro? Again, I'm open to all that, and that's the beauty of our relationship. I mean, you know, with two amazing protocols working together, we can help support each other, and that's what we're all about. I mean, our your community, again, man. All of us deal with the FUD or the naysayers. And I love it when you guys give me shit. I think that's the Brit humor in you. So yeah, man. But nothing but love to MDB. Again, we're getting even more integrated with each other. So it's about supporting the protocols that are here for the right reasons, man. Totally.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think there's always a little bit of, I think it's projects are a bit like a business. I think the mood often comes from the top, and and you're so optimistic, and I'm British and self-deprecating, and
Yes, brother. Yes, there's no
and
doubt.
very cynical, and yeah, so I think that sometimes comes out. I think, how is you work so hard and you're so optimistic, and yeah, a little bit of what we're not normally is always good for us.
No, I
Yeah.
love it, man. Well, and again, that's a testament to our working relationship, like, I'm the perma bull, you're the one that is again more cynical, but that's what makes us successful. Like again, we worked together, for months before we ever finalized the economics of, the Sentinel structure. And it was good because we worked through it, we came up with even a better solution than what we had originally come up with. So again, man, it all works out, as they say. What is that? No hard feelings, right? But no, I mean, we appreciate that, and it's good for me. I mean, I need to hear, what criticism or what we can do to be better. That's why we do daily AMAs. Like, I love to hear constructive feedback. It's one thing for people, and I know you can relate to this big time, Danny. It's one thing for people to complain, but it's another thing for people to complain and then actually provide, a possible solution to their
Mm.
complaint. And that's what I love seeing in our communities for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's a really exciting time for you guys, definitely. And what happens beyond this then? So when we go forward into 2023, because I know you guys have like a 500-year plan or something, you like super long
Yes.
term.
We do, yes, brother. Yeah, we have an incredible roadmap. Again, we have it in our academy. The farther out we get, the more vague we get, but that's on purpose because we're always ready to pivot as well. And that's what I love about you guys too, Danny. I mean, you're never afraid to pivot. I mean, Infinity is a perfect example of that. And if we see a better opportunity or a way to benefit the ecosystem, even more, then that's what we're gonna do. And so yeah, we have huge plans for 2023. We did want to roll out these NFTs. It may appear a bit rushed, but the idea was that we needed to get it out with our development schedule because we're working on some major upgrades to EMP as a whole, and early, we allude to it a lot as our final form of EMP, a new, I don't want to say a new because the systems in place right now will still function very, very similar. But the idea is that it makes it more valuable to hold your EMP than to sell it through, again, staking or other mechanisms. And so we've been working on this plan for literally the last 6 months. And the development schedule is finally getting to a point where we're going to be able to start rolling some of this out. And the ultimate goal is, again, not only to make it more profitable for people to hold EMP than to sell it, but also to reduce any potential inflation when the boardroom starts printing again and transfer all that value into those that hold EMP and E share. So again, I can't really give you a lot of alpha in terms of specifics, but it's literally a 40-page document that we've been working on that will eventually become a white paper. And yeah, it's the next evolution in EMP. And those of you that have been continuing to build your positions and learning how the protocol operates, those are the ones that are going to really have major success as we move forward. So, and really, at the end of the day, the overarching goal of EMP is to be the most profitable passive income platform. Which again, that sounds like competition to MDB, but with exposure to Ethereum. So again, if you're bullish on ETH, that is that's our angle, and we're going to continue to deliver yield in Ethereum, both directly and indirectly. And again, I mean, the fact that we're all here doing the right thing, it's healthy for people to diversify into other projects. Again, not only protocol to protocol do we have an investment in each other, but I'm personally invested, in MDB and EMP, and we're going to continue to grow together. I think, a lot of people think DeFi is, very competitive in nature, but really it's about those that are here for the right reasons, trying to build, DeFi and crypto as a whole as we move forward. So.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Brilliant update. Thank you. Do you mind if I do a quick shameless plug? Because we do have
I
some.
love it, bro. Please
Yeah.
go for it. I want to hear all about it. Go ahead.
So we're launching something called MDB AI, albeit it's a proof of concept to start off with, because we're taking a really cautious approach, and we notice a lot of people looking at trading bots and trading, and we've got a big AMA on Wednesday, and there's something that we haven't announced around it, which is gonna it's something that just doesn't exist in the industry. It's never been done before, and it is really going to shake things up. But the core of what is out in the open at the moment is that MDB AI is an NFT, and one of the challenges that we see is that with trading, it's okay when it's going well, even with professional traders, but everybody can make losses. So that you can make fantastic gains, but when the losses hit, it normally, we call it sort of like blowing up, is what a trader that we work with calls it. And when it blows up, there's no going back, right? And so we are launching an NFT that actually pulls a number of different trading providers across different assets. So we've got futures, forex, gold, and it pulls that all into one single resource. So if one of them isn't doing so well, then the other two should pick up the slack. Actually, we look at the history of all of these platforms, and to be fair, they perform like 10 out of 12 months. And so the idea is that if we combine them, then you're hedging against one of them maybe not performing for a couple of months, which does happen every now and then, and the other two pick up the slack. So you're kind of hedging your bets, if you like, across at least three professional platforms. In addition to that, there's a fourth part, which is a liquidity pool. So you can actually liquidate your NFT at any time. And if the liquid pool is running low, then we will pull more funds out of the trading pots for you to be able to liquidate your NFT. You will pay a liquidation fee to liquidate it. But what it means is that the NFT, the funds in the trading pots are 4/7 paying out, 3/7 compounding, Plus, if people are liquidating their NFTs, what they're doing is leaving some of the inherent value of their NFT behind for the people that are not liquidating, and so therefore that drives up the aggregated value of each one that's left in existence. So we're doing a small mint by our standards. We're doing probably this, maybe we'll see by Wednesday, but maybe about 600, and we're actually planning to buy as much as half of them ourselves as a protocol, in fact. And it will be exclusive, which is fine, because I think most of the people that I see in NFT have got black names, and they're VIPs and Millionaires Club members. It will be 100% exclusive to the Millionaires Club, and we're just gonna maybe it'll be like a 30-minute mint, and if they don't sell out, then we'll just buy the rest, and but we'll try and give at least people a window, and then we'll run that for 90 days. All being well and good, then we'll go for quite a serious mint sort of come end of Q1 next year. So it's quite unique. It's a completely liquid NFT that aggregates a range of different trading providers, rather than sort of it being all or nothing in one single provider.
I love that, man. No, absolutely. I mean, we're approached every day from protocols that run trading bots or other revenue streams. And again, I mean, we any partnership that we do, obviously, we would never want to jeopardize EMP. But if we're able to utilize that in a much more diversified way, I'm excited. And yeah, I mean, we're in talks with a few now as well. But I like that concept of having it, on multiple exposure, meaning, like you said, forex, gold trading, all the above. So yeah, man. Well, maybe we can work on a future, collaboration on that, or even again driving traffic to you guys and vice versa. So yeah, and even it sounds like that maybe something that Treasury should own some as well. So yeah, again, I love what you guys are doing. And when you said early next year, Danny, when's
Well,
the time? Yeah.
we'll be doing the small mint before Christmas, and then after 90 days, assuming all is, we're calling it a proof of concept because it's a learning curve as well. But we've got high hopes, and actually we've had a couple of protocols reach out to us and say, look, would you be interested in letting us have some? And yeah, obviously we've got to respect the VIPs and the Millionaires Club first and foremost, because they're like the super hardcore of the community that are always there supporting us. And but we are thinking of sort of opening up maybe a small allocation to protocols, so they can have a couple and come along on the ride for the proof of concept, and then if everyone's happy, then maybe that opens it up to sort of a more collaborative approach when we do the full mint in a few months.
Awesome, brother. Well, yeah, keep us in the loop. And again, I do want to give away some whitelist spots of our detonator defender. So we'll follow up with you on that. Anybody that attended this AMA will be eligible. And yeah, I'll get those to you guys ASAP. So on that note, brother, I had to wrap it up, man. We have another AMA in 10 minutes. So again, the AMA train continues. I know when we were launching the Sentinel NFT, Danny was like, "Man, you're a nut doing all these AMAs." So yeah, I'm a glutton for punishment. So, but again, bro, I appreciate all your support.
Yeah.
MDB has been amazing, and really, I look forward to continuing our relationship. And like I said earlier, even getting more involved with each other on helping all of our bags together. So yes, sir.
Yeah, brilliant. Great to have you, and I hope you get some sleep, buddy.
Yes, thank you, bro. I'm gonna need it after today. But yeah, so all right, guys. Much love to all of you, and we'll talk soon.
All right, take care. Cheers.
Bye bye.